electric guitar. I'm just calling it rhythm guitar and lead guitar. I'm just calling them guitars, lead guitars. It sounds like Mike Campbell tracked these both, most likely on a Telecaster. We're gonna just jump in, get some practice in. I didn't get a chance to practice yesterday, so I'm gonna, knock some rust off like I usually do. There's always, even if I would practice all the time, there'd still be rust. But sorry, just making sure everything's working the way it's supposed to. Looks like it's good. Okay. Let's kind of quick review these parts a minute. Kind of try to spend 20 minutes on each of these parts and go from there. So this is the rhythm guitar, if you guys are kind of following along and working on it as well. So we got this 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 and. So really the hard thing for me is on the second measure, getting that F sharp in there. 4. And then not hitting on the other ones. I'm going to be picky as I want to be with that. All right. Let's, I think we just jump in and do all 4. We'll start with the mute. Making sure that that little hammer on doesn't delay my timing, which sometimes it will. Just little things to watch out for. And 3 and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and. So I'm getting distracted. Sometimes that front camera doesn't want to always focus, even though as I set up, it's focused perfectly. And then it likes to fall out in case I change my angle a little bit. So we'll see if I can get that adjusted as I play. Try not to get too distracted. All right, yeah, those 4 measures. Got the idea of it. Gotta go slow enough. Don't rush that. And 2 and 3 and 4. So you can tell I'm a little out of sorts. We're just going to keep it rolling. Let me get this blue off of there. Trying to get my camera adjusted. And 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and. And 2 E and 3, 4, 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. Rough start. I need to play this in time, so I need to call my own jets a little bit. 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and. So after I hit that F sharp, I'm gonna let that finger, that string ring out the entire time, because it's kind of implied with that whole let ring throughout. 4, 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and 3. 4. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. Mutes. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. So you're really just seeing me struggle to get a groove going. And that's, practice has just begun. May happen, it may not, Hopefully it happens. Should happen. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a... So just a little bit fast. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and... So even though I'm playing absolutely like crap, clearly I should have napped for a little bit longer. I'm going to still speed it up, see if I can get the connection going, because I'm just not waiting long enough. My 16th notes are sloppy. I'll go back to some mutes, just trying to, get it into my fingers, or to my right hand, really. My left hand's doing great. Right hand's like, I don't want to play in time to save my life. 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and... To mutes, 1 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and... A 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm really rushing those ands of 2. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and 3. 4. That sounds better. 1 E and a 2 and 3 count it right now. I just cannot play it. Which is funny. I actually had time to warm up today. I don't always have time to warm up before these videos. Clearly, I did not have time to get that camera to learn how to focus, but I did warm up. Sometimes warm-ups don't lead to you playing better. That's a lie. Long-term better, not short-term better. Shoot. Well, I'm going to spend about 5 more minutes on these 4 measures and be okay with them kind of sucking for a little bit more. And get the tempo a little bit quicker, but we'll do a couple mutes back to just the rhythm. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and just a little bit slower. 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 4 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. And sometimes you just need to push, even though you're not playing in time. Go back to counting it. Try to get that to tighten up, because it's you heard it for a second, and then my brain drifted, and then it just went away. The in-timeness, the lack of in-timeness got worse. Better. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2. So mutes again. Really try to hammer home that timing. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 4 1 a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and keep on coming back to that 16th note measure that's different. Keep slaughtering that. 1 and E and 3 4 1 and you know, because you go to the other rhythms that are elongating stuff, or you're just holding more, and all of a sudden you go to that one. Keep going faster, even though it wasn't tight. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and We're going to go faster. Today will not be a day of tightness. Today will be a day of speed. And then tomorrow will have to be a day of tightness. Or they'll start connecting. Or the dots will start magically just appearing. And maybe my camera will be in focus by then. We could try to move a little bit. For 1 and a 2 and a 3. 1, a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and. False alarm. Was not ready to play. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, got to watch that 16th note on that first measure. Now, the nice thing is in the actual song, right, you'd move on to the next part. I just trying to put this all together and that loop back to that 1 and a 1 and a. Try 76. We'll go we'll do this in one faster unless this is totally terrible. 2 and 3 and 4. 1, a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3. And a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3. Come on this next time. 3, 4, 1, 2. It's getting better. We'll go one tempo faster, one jump faster, and then go from there. Let me for the last time adjust my seat and see if my camera will get in order. It might like that better. It does not seem like it. All right, 80. Same thing, mutes and counts. 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 E and 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4, 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 2 and a 3. We'll just take this round off, jump back in. 3, 4. Cool. Good enough for right now. Full speed's 115 on that. And I'm a little ways away from tightening that up, as you can tell. All right, so I think I got this up to like... No, I probably had that up at 60. Let's start it at 50 and just kind of review these measures. Actually, so there's a great video of Mike Campbell. Just type in Mike Campbell, breaking down American Girl, or even American Girl guitar lesson. He does a great breakdown of all his parts. And on this part, he's just flying. I think he's playing everything with either his first or his second or third finger. And at full speed, it's going to be blistering, 16th notes. But anyway, all right. So we're starting at 50, which is super slow, but I'm just going to get it back in my fingers. 1 E and 2 E, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3. Make sure I'm not rushing. All right. 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and we're just going to do this on each measure, kind of get it into my fingers, and then we'll put the 4 together. And then it kind of does another section of 4, maybe even 8. Definitely 8. But just kind of get the sight reading aspect of this done so you get more comfortable. So I'm probably going to do that with my second and first finger. So I got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and now, you know, you should always try to play in time. But like right now, I'm just like, get this in my fingers, and then we'll put this together. And then, you know, if there's anything that's loose, tighten it up after that. So kind of pick your battles of what you want to be picky on right now. Right now, I just want to know the part. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and last of the 4 that we're going to focus on. And again, if I get this up to speed, reading the next 8 measures is going to be pretty easy, right? You get this idea, then you can kind of just move it around. Probably 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. See, this is a problem that I have. I'm rushing to get to that. I'm not giving that 4 a 16th note space. 1 E, 1 E, 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Something I just have to be aware of. All right, let's put those 4 together. Let's keep that same tempo. There'll be a little bit of sight reading involved because I don't have this memorized. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. So just poor sight reading skills, you know, maybe being distracted by the camera that will not focus no matter what I do. But also just, you know, thinking about, oh, shit, am I using the right finger? And some of this, you're just kind of working those bugs out, actually, at a slow tempo. And if you can play it somewhat in time at a slow tempo like that, you know, 3 or 4 days down the road, it's just going to click for me. And I'm not going to think so much about my fingering and really, you know, put all that mental energy into something that I don't have to. Right now, it's like total focus. All right, let's go by 4s. Let's just keep it slow. Now, and this is kind of why I like to learn this way. You know, I'm not learning the song. I'm learning great technique from the song. And picking up skill set that Mike Campbell has that I don't. Well worth checking out that video of him breaking stuff down on American Girl. Watch his fingers on both hands. They just move like he was born to play. I mean, like, he was probably born to play guitar, but, like, the guy just moves like a motherfucker. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and. Unlike me right now. And 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and totally lost focus. All right, let's go up to 58. Just get these a little bit faster before we move to the other guitar part. And 2 E and 3 E and. So there's some sloppiness, I go back and forth between playing it pretty decent and then being like, man, does he play guitar? That's my evaluation now in head. 62. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and and now I'm starting to think about I'm putting a little bit of an accent on that, and I'm like, if I'm gonna be picky, now is not the time. Just get the part in your fingers, and then you're gonna notice oh man, I am accenting all my slides, or I'm accenting that downbeat, and I'm not supposed to. And then you can clean it up. If you're in the mode of clean up. That in my mind, that would be slowing it back down to 40 and really thinking about and 3E and 4, 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and right. I have to be a little bit more just really focused on and playing it steady. Right now, I'm kind of playing it. Well, let's try it at 66, and we'll see if I'm being picky or I'm just playing like crap. 2E and 3 and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and so a little bit of both. It's not played very well by me right now. Let's go to 70, and then we'll jump to the other guitar part. So just, sometimes your practices are just getting a little bit better, a little bit tighter, and just showing up. And this is kind of a Saturday afternoon show-up practice. Nothing spectacular, which is good. I shouldn't say is good, but is common. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3 and using the wrong fingers. Would like to lock it in with the third finger more. So enforce good habits versus enforce bad ones. 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and it's not getting better, and that's okay. 70 is livable. All right, let's look at the other guitar part, and let's start with this strum. Now, knowing that I'm playing a little bit poorly in my mind, let's just jump to 70, and let's get started with this the Bo Diddley iconic part, the 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and now one thing, so we're focused on this measure that kind of when stuff starts to take off a little bit. One of the things on that third beat, 3E, and I gotta make sure I'm not accenting, and I also gotta make sure that I get that first string in there. Sometimes I'm a little short on that strum. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E. There we go. All right. Let's see how fast 70 is. 2 and a 3 and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a Cool. So just focus in on this for a bit. Let's go by 4s and 2E and a 3E and a 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a. So kind of call yourself out, right? Like if you're keeping that, and I felt like those last two are pretty good, better than my playing earlier. Just trying to keep that strum even, because as you go to faster tempos, it's going to be harder to keep it even. So now is the time to make sure it sounds not only exact rhythmically, but like dynamically. One E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a 1E. Got a little off of the click, but that's okay. We're going to do 82 before we move on. Just kind of trying to hit all parts. Just leveling up. Crawling my way up to 115. Crawling might be the apt term. As soon as we get to 115, I'll start doing some tracking videos on this and start doing the layers of, like, you know, record the drums first, which I'm still working on, and then record the bass, and the whole time kind of like break these down into lesson videos and loop videos as well. And at some point, get that camera to learn how to focus. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a 1E. So let's do this little kind of like beginning of the song where he's going 2, 3. So we'll just do both measures. The first measure, or the second measure, is going to be a lot of holding. 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2. and 3 and 4. So the rhythm is 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. It holds out. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3, 4. It's just that dotted eighth note I have to watch out for. Let's see, where is this marker? Hopefully this will stay in time. And a 2 and 3 and 4. And a 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3. So yeah, let's just speed those two things up. We'll go back and forth. We'll work on this one first, and then the first one, and a 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. And a 2 and 3. I guess we could put those two together. Both starting the same. Let's try that. Let's try 68 though. 2 and 3 and 4. The behold. 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and a 2 and. I think we got the idea of both of those, but let's jump by 6. Let's go to 74. Let's do a 74 and just I don't know. Do it a couple times. And 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 4, 1 and a 2 and 3. Cool. All right. I don't feel the need to go faster in those parts right now. I do have a need. So there's slight variations throughout, right? He's playing this. I don't think he thought like, hey, I'm going to play a downbeat here. I'm going to play the same pattern 3 times in a row. 2 times in a row and then flip it inside out. He just played. He felt the groove. I don't think we need to work on this, but this is essentially what he's doing. He's playing this octave. It's not an octave. That's not an octave. It's a fifth. Yeah, okay. Oh, because he's playing this octave here. That's what I thought I meant. Maybe. And then all the way to 10, 12, 2, 3 again. Then he's still kind of sitting there and leading into this next part that I really want to start working on. But, we'll probably spend 5-10 minutes on it and then call it a good practice. 1 E and a 2 and 3. So that open I'm not going to be worried about right now, but he's kind of setting himself up. Oh, wait, the rhythm is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and. Oops. So I play my G different than him, and that's going to throw me off. Well, or I just made a mistake. So some of these chords. All right, so that D is going 1 E and a 2 and then he has that little walk up. So I think I kind of warmed up on playing the idea of just playing this in 3/4 and really working on just each chord individually. And 1 E and a 2 and 3 and so super slow for me. 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and because other than that first 0, nothing else is on the downbeat, and you probably have seen my rhythm skills or lack thereof, and it's going to take me a minute. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 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 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. So as soon as we get a little faster, it's going to be a little bit easier. And I might play it in time. But I oftentimes need to play something that slow to get the idea. And so every time you see a let ring, you kind of hear you going from that chord and then... Oh, I know I was playing my G wrong. Because I went from this D chord. So I have to just be comfortable picking up my whole hand. You can see this is going to take me a little bit of time. All right, let's not worry about being perfectly in time. Let's just try to get the movements down. This one's in space for me, like that 4 doesn't really belong to anybody. I know he's kind of like walking down that F sharp again to an E minor. Oh, that's kind of how he's doing it. All right, now I see the relationship. Before I was like, okay, I get the right? Because he's just walking up that E, F sharp, G. That's what he's doing. He's probably making a full. He might not be. He's probably debatable if he's fretting exactly what he's playing or if he went to an actual E minor chord. But if I went from this 4, I might not be thinking of an actual E minor. All right, D again. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and. So we got 4 and 1 E and a 2 and. Bugger on that rhythm. And a 2 and 3. And I think I'm going to have to play. Otherwise, I'm just not going to get used to that whole thing. So it's 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play that whole measure of D as kind of a lead-in. Now, this is really my second day of working on this part alone, and even looking at this part as I was prepping, and I've taught this before, but like I oftentimes would teach stuff and then send students off, and they'd learn it within the week, and I'd be like, well, I'll move to the next thing. I haven't had time to learn it yet, but you have. Like this is just, I don't know, something I'm not good at. This playing inside the chord, I can do. Playing that rhythm inside the chord, not natural for me at all. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and. See, just falls apart really quickly. All right, so what we're gonna do, keep it slow. We're not concerned about learning how to play it perfectly yet. We're just learning about like how does it move and what's the rhythmic idea. I like to use the word idea because it's like I'm not ready to actually play it in time perfectly. I'm gonna try to like slide my way in through it. All right, quit stalling. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2 and 3 only going to really try to jump in on this beat 4. 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and again 1 E and 2 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. You can just see how uncomfortable on my face I am trying to stay in time with that. Partly it's slow, partly I just can't play it. So let's speed it up just a little bit. Hopefully not too much that I can't count it. You know, I was happy that I could play the idea of the D, even though it wasn't perfect. But this is just kind of like my struggle of learning something that just reaching a little bit out of my skill set, right? But by spending, you know, an hour on this, not right now, probably 15 more minutes on this, if that. It's cultivating those ideas. It's getting that into your fingers, and then it'll probably be 3 or 4 more days of probably decent work for me to get this down. Now, if you saw that, I could just play it, right? But I can't play it in time. As I do the tracking, and I'd probably do like an acoustic guitar part. You know, I'm still going to struggle playing that part in time with, you know, an acoustic guitar accompaniment. It's just not where I'm at playing-wise yet. So even though it's a little painful, just spending that time with that metronome is good for me. It's good for everybody. And if you can start to hear where those 16th notes are, it's going to change your brain. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and... Oh. All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Just try this again. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So it's definitely coming. Let's try to add the E minor, and then we're going to start pushing the tempo as soon as we probably add that last A measure, and we could probably use that as a turnaround, because you're just going, and then he launches into a little bit more of that, yeah. Nice thing is the same idea gets used in the chorus. A little bit different, but similar. Okay. All right, the E minor measure is the only one that doesn't have that dotted 8th note. It's got a dotted quarter note, so it's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to that G. Let's check tuning. Glad we got the fun stuff out of the way, and now I'm on to like some stuff that just really pushes my brain. Which, you know, if I get time to do one of these tomorrow, I'll probably start with this and start with a fresh brain and just be like, okay, like how do we really play this? How do we tackle this? Let's get this into time. And then if I have time after that, then work on the other parts. So kind of like just change your practice. You know, don't always do the same thing every time. Don't warm up on the same 2 ideas. Push your brain to think differently. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 1 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That E minor measure, let's just do that on a mute. 1, 2. Because everything to this point has been those 16th notes or dotted 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And 2 and 4 and a very stoic way of playing it. Like, I don't think it had no feeling to it, right? But just trying to get the beats down. All right, let's do the same thing on this one. Probably don't need 44 for any of this. Let's jump to 48. I'll make these eighth notes and dotted quarters not seem so long. Let's just do these two measures. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'll probably play that. Oh, I'm playing the wrong note. That's what he's actually doing. Okay. So just some good stuff that's out of my pay grade. All right. 3 and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and so in that A measure, I'm probably just gonna play this and get reset for my D chord. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. It's a lot of brain power for me. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Alright, we can speed that up though. Slow is good, but I feel like we start playing the idea faster. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That was a disaster, but that's okay. 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and played that wrong. But the idea is getting there. I think we can keep speeding it up though. You know, the mistakes I'm making are just dumb, not actually me. They are me, obviously, but moving too quick on that. You know, just thinking about leaving notes hanging that should be, and you know, I'm picking it up a little too early, and yeah. This is what you get on day 2. Unrefined, and that's. I gotta quit saying that's okay, but it honestly is okay. Like, it's just count it 100 times. 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and. That's what gets me that and there. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Let's count 1. 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and about it at all rhythmically. You know, and when we hit an hour on these, as you can see, sometimes my brain blasts. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3, 4 and ignore the terrible counting. 2 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. Can you ignore the terrible playing too? Counting, playing, blurry camera. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. I'm persevering though because it's getting into my fingers, and I can tell like at one point it's either just gonna rip or it's just I'm gonna call it a practice. See, like that part, you can tell I'm 1 E and a 2 and. The nice thing is thinking about coming back to that G on that upstrum. If you think about it as an upstrum, I don't know if it is. Might be 1 E and a 2. Sometimes I do that G coming down. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, just gotta get back to that G. Don't think of that rhythm though. Like I don't know it in my fingers. All right, let's try again. 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. And 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and why does that sound so bad? All right, a couple times by myself. Better, but not there. You can see it just, the minute you take that metronome away from me, like I have a more natural feel to myself because I spent so much of my practice time not playing with the metronome. Then you can tell how it screwed me over. I can't say it screwed me over, like I screwed myself over. If I would have committed to just like, hey, metronome is good. It is good to practice with. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I would get this much quicker. And if I can get to the place where I can adapt to play with metronome consistently, which is what these are all about, just practicing and developing better habits, like it will unlock all songs for you. And it's already better than it's ever been for me. It just has a ways to go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. All right, we're gonna try a couple more. I don't know if I played at this tempo. We'll just go up. 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. And a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. just means I don't know the rhythm yet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now that's ridiculous that I have to count that much. But it's obviously where I'm at. You see, I fall apart without it. So, I'm just going to count it till I don't have to count it. And that's what I say to students. Like, you will get this natural sense of timing after a while. The 2 dotted, essentially it is like 2 dotted eighth notes, right? 1 E and a 2 E. 1 E and a 2 E. And. So, like, rhythmically for me, that's challenging. Don't have the best rhythm skills. So. Gotta learn how to be comfortable in that. 1 E and a 2 E and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. Coming from that, yeah. All right, a couple more times, and then just call it good. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and. Thank you, sir. A very, very, man, I can almost see your name. I apologize. The screen's a little small over there. Said he loves my telly. Starts with a P. Sorry, man. Sorry, I can't see. I think it's Paul. But yes, I love this Telecaster as well. Mike Campbell was actually playing a Telecaster in the music video, and I think he played it, like, every time. I pulled up like 4 or 5 videos of him playing it, and every single one was a Telecaster. And it kind of sounds, it has that nice chimey sound to it. A good friend of mine bought me this one, though, and I was very, very pleased when he did, and I do love this guitar. It doesn't get as much love as it should. Sometimes I play the other guitars too much, but it's always nice to come back to something, and you're like, oh, wait, I know why I have a Telecaster. So thank you for the compliment. All right, 68. Let's go 70. 70, and then we'll end it. The song. We'll end the song. And 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a wrong measure. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 2, and oh, that was on the wrong beat. Everything else was good though, so I actually feel good enough that I want to go a little faster. It moves away from being like this, I don't like, watch Mike Campbell, watch him play it, and it just is so natural. Well, when I'm learning this, it's not gonna be natural day one, right? Like, my fingers don't know how they want to move to each of those. So, but the more you play and allowing yourself to be like, all right, I'm going to play these slow tempos until it's just natural. Then I'm going to move up a little faster till it's natural. Just always keep pushing towards that. And I say pushing. I'm not saying I'm there. I'm like not a million. I'm 100 miles away. Every time I do a live, though, it gets a little bit better. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. One more count. 3, 4. 1 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. Oh, I keep on wanting to put that on 2. But you hear it's coming. So I'm going to be okay. One more time. Play it sloppy, and then we'll fix the rhythm. Not fix the rhythm, just get to playing it smooth. Right now it's a little rushed, little janky. A couple times where I'm like, oh shit, that's where the chord change is. And 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 3 and 4 and 1. You can hear it. My brain's starting to learn it. 1 E and a 2 and 3. Wouldn't say I got too big for my britches, but fell apart. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 E and a 2 and 3. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and if I don't count it, I start falling apart, and then I count it once, and I get into this groove, and I'm like, I hear. Rush that one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So like you start to hear that breakthrough, right? And that's what we're going for. When we go for that breakthrough all the time, it just doesn't necessarily happen that way. Sometimes you have to trudge a little bit. All right, one more tempo shift, and then call this one done for today. 1 E and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 and 2, 3, 4. I totally was checking bit rates and not anything else. Wasn't thinking. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 2 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3. A 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. All right, pretty sloppy, but 82 isn't that far away from 115. So I'm just gonna call it for now. Rest up, do some other things tonight. Thanks for checking it out. musicbythemeasurespro.com, guys. We have sheet music resources for you and subscription memberships and whatnot. So check it out, and I will be doing more of this in the next week. Not done yet. All right, talk to you guys soon.